I don't know.
Imperial.
I mean, Mahan got the... We're getting into game. This is it. 00Nation versus Imperial. It's going to be a showstopper.
Tell Haul to pick team to lose and he will suddenly run out of words. It never fails. We'll get him to say something negative about one of these teams before the end of the event. We'll do it. He has to. We're into the round. We're into the game. No time to waste here. No more flapping gums, or a whole lot more flapping gums as we talk about the Counter-Strike that's about to happen. Vinny is about to be flapping those dualies straight into getting gooshed. But, well, a little bit of a beat going to be taken here. 00Nation going to back away, going to give the space. They don't quite want to chase that kill on down yet. Information may be a little bit unconfirmed in terms of what damage that they've actually done. And there we go. Chelo going to find the first kill, so it does go the way of Imperial. This is an interesting one, right? I mean, the desk has painted the picture. Old rivals, old friends, old teammates, and only one map to figure out who comes out on top.
And identical records on this map over the last few months, actually. 2-1.
Slightly different competition, though.
Slightly different.
Slightly different competition.
Touch. But let's see what happens here. boltz is going to get one onto Lato, and it's a 5v3 in favor of Imperial. Ferrer is going to get one to his name as well, and boltz is just going to take care of the rest. He's got 3 on the round. 1-0 in favor of Imperial. Very convincingly, in fact.
It looked a little concerning on the first brush with Vinny getting dinked immediately, but he never had to do anything in the rest of the round because, well, they didn't drop a body. Well done early on. A bit of a timid pistol round out from 00Nation, and isolated, they fall. Never really gave themselves a chance to fight together. Every one of those picks just about came in an isolated duel. So, not the hottest of start here, but 0-0 going to force buy in regardless. No bomb plant, no problem. Tech 9s. They're potent. John, they're potent.
They are, especially on Inferno, charging up Banana. They can do a lot of damage here as Ferrer is going to be waiting with the MP9. Speaking of a gun that can do damage, but a good flashbang tossed on forward by 00Nation is going to gain them a lot of space.
Another
Imperial
HE.
doesn't want to give it up, but there goes the HE, and now Fallen spamming away so much damage. Taken by 00Nation, but the first frag goes towards them. That said, the good response here coming through from Imperial. boltz and Fallen finding a couple, and I mean, 00Nation, they have a couple players limping for it, but they will find a bomb plant at the very least.
That they will. Money made. And in a B post plant, things can get very hairy and scary very quickly. All the utilities gone just about for Imperial. A couple smokes to work with, but Fallen can do things the old-fashioned way. He's going to shoot people. Uh-oh, indeed. Vinny trying to get them back in, and well, Lato's in a really tough spot here. You'd imagine that he may just try and save this armor. Indeed, that's what he's going to do. He's going to back away, so the bomb plant did get them something, but Imperial ultimately keep this under control. Defuse on, plenty of time to spare, health is up, and they'll be fine to take the second.
Yep. A little bit of a scary moment there for Imperial, but it was quickly diffused.
Yeah, most decidedly. I mean, this is important, I think, for Imperial to get the early rounds underway. You heard Taco, the way he's talking about it, and he's a player, and particularly a captain and a leader, who always puts a point of emphasis on not trying to build up the moment too much. I think recognizing that with young teammates, keeping them as comfortable as possible, making sure they're having fun playing the game is important. It's something I've noticed over the last couple of years with the Taco interviews.
Yeah.
But, okay, for Imperial, there's a lot of riding here. He's already got the first. Blinded up, though. Taco will find that entry, looking for more. Not going to have it. Molotovs did force him forward, and, well, this is a rinse repeat of this sort of straightforward B play, this time just with a bit less even to work with. If they get one more kill, if they get this kill on Fer in the back of sight, suddenly things could get interesting. Fer's not interested in that scenario. He's looking like he might just find the ace himself. Oh my goodness, a shot from Lato might actually confirm it. Fer just bullet Lato. What a ripper. He's incredible, but the nade comes in a bit too late. That is an expensive round for Imperial to deal with, but no bomb plant on for 0-0.
Oh, good shots from Lato in the latter part of that round, but unfortunately, like you mentioned, there's no round found there for 00Nation. Fer gets the opening frag and almost gets himself an ace. That's 3 found for Imperial. Okay. That's out of the way. Here come the rifles for 00Nation. This is the first real test for both squads, in fact. See who can garner some momentum here on Inferno. 00Nation going to be sending Try and Dumau out first. Utility being tossed on forward. And Dumau fighting away towards Banana through a smoke, in fact, and just trying to tap ahead, get a little lucky. Instead, it's going to be no one taking any damage, and Fur going for the boost on top of the half wall here, trying to catch 00Nation off guard should they push up here, and he just very well might. There is the first one for him, and he falls off immediately. Takes a lot of damage for it, but the man advantage was just too important to give up.
A lot of value there found. Fur on a tear early on, and he has been a huge piece, right? When Fur is hitting, he's really hitting. It's amazing how quickly he's come back into form in this Imperial roster. Looking like no time has passed from his storied run. Okay, chelo. That one may be just a guess, but it's a guess that goes correct. Great trade from Taco. They needed that. And Taco with a couple big opening kills towards sites early. He does do a lot of entrying for this team, perhaps surprisingly. Let's see what they're going to do. Fur's on the scene. And he'll toss a nade over to his old comrade. coldzera from Bell. Gonna have to try and get activated here. It's not going to work out. All in to try. No up in this situation, and no hope either.
Wow. Very decisive win there on the gun round for 00Nation. I should say win for Imperial on the gun round for 00Nation. Very well played. I mean, you talked about Taco going for those entries. Yes, he does. A second player on the team in terms of attempts at 20.9%, but success a little bit low, 43.9% on that side. So he does try to open up the space for his teammates, but it's more, I think, about, you know, trying to do some damage and gaining information so he can make the right calls for his comrades. Dumau is actually the leader in terms of entries, Mike. 21.2% attempts and a 61.5% success rate. Let's see if he can open up some space here for his squad, but again, they are relegated down to a very light buy. It's a Mac 10, 2 Tech 9s, and 2 Deagles coming through. 1:30 on the clock, and 00Nation decide that Banana is not the play. They gained a little bit of space up it, but instead decide to redirect their attention towards the top of mid.
So this sort of hamstring buys we've been getting here. 00Nation have not been doing a great job of actually getting in towards the site. They had the one gun round. They get shut down towards A. And wherever they go, it seems it's Fur who haunts them.
Yeah.
He's over towards B this time. He can't. The bad man can't hurt you, probably. Not yet, at least. We'll have to see how this round does play out. Smokes are in. And pressure's on for the pit player. Taco almost gets that. Sets up Lato for the trade. The bombs drop, though, so now the rotation can come in earnest. Chelo trying to stay alive is overwhelmed. And with that moto smoke, we got a chance for the plant. We got a rifle picked up, too, actually. This is going to get very interesting indeed. The bomb needs to make its way out of pit, which means they won't have that position in the post. Unless dumau tucks his way on in. Are there nades on the CT side?
No, just the smoke, and there it goes.
This is actually going to be pretty tricky for Imperial. Clearing sight lines. Health is definitely in their favor, but they need to be snappy on these initial shots, and trying to take the momentum here. Getting the initiative, wanting it. But it's all about Fur creeping up short. He hasn't been spotted just yet. Now he makes the move. Now there's the audio cue. Dumau takes the first, holding the line. Time's starting to get short. It's all about the clock now, but they've cleared out the pit, and it's all just coldzera. The site.
Do they have time?
They do. They do. I believe with the kit, it shouldn't be an issue. There's a reason Fallen took over from Fur, but there's plenty of time. Imperial, make you sweat just a little bit. They'll keep this unblemished streak rolling. I
mean, just the confidence that Fair had in Fallen, the trust that he didn't even have to look towards pit. He's like, Fallen has got this. He is going to get that frag, and I just need to focus on the site to get that last player. That's exactly what comes to fruition. Fantastic retake coming through on the Imperial side to get themselves a fifth, and a little bit of a heartbreaker here for 00Nation, as that looked like it was going to be their first round, and the entry was great. It was a classic Tech 9 overload onto the A site that just, I mean, they couldn't hang on to it afterwards. I guess just too much damage taken on the initial take.
Timeout in here. We see Chucky get involved, giving his input, settling them down perhaps. It's still very early. It's not uncommon to see a 5 or 6 round run at the beginning of the map, but it's the way that they've been denied bomb site control. That last round, they managed to successfully get on towards A, but it's been a little tricky.
Yeah. Haven't seen it on a gun round yet either. That was, of course, just a half buy coming through.
They did only have one. Sample size is small.
Yeah.
Here's 2. And everyone knows, once you have a sample size of 2, you can draw whatever conclusion you need. That is enough data points.
We're going to toss that incendiary down towards bottom of Banana, and so far it's a stalemate here. Oh, what a shot from Try!
They went for the
Fallen
boost up
goes by
even.
the wayside, and Try will win the op duel. Yes, the boost up does come through there.
Well, it didn't didn't come through. Fallen was boosted.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Fallen was dropped.
But
they did bring it through.
didn't work, yes.
Yeah. But as it is, advantage for 00Nation. Not something they've had in a while. Oh, pressure on, pressure on. Player caught by sandbags. No, the lineup, and there it is. Try through the wall, just rings out a shot and finds himself a prize and puts damage onto boltz. So Imperial majorly put on notice in this one. Starting to get a little bit nervous, and it's Vinny who's got the AWP picked up here to try and make it happen.
Wow.
Look, they call it Inferno for a reason. Let's see if he can start the fire.
We shall see indeed, but the player starting the fire right now is Try with his first 2 frags of this map, but could they be more impactful? I do not think so, because the amount of space they opened up is just incredible here for 00Nation. Look, they've pulled Imperial all the way back towards the A site, who have to gamble here with those 3 players left standing, and well, I mean, B site's free for the taking. This round should go 00Nation's way. I'd be very surprised if Imperial try for a retake.
If you're in chat right now crying about why would they leave the site, why would they leave the site, it's because they know that they have to either fight with 3 or save.
Yep.
It's a conservative call. It's a smart call in this situation. Love that Inferno meta. Whereas a CT, if you don't have nades, if you don't have resources, you're done.
It's one of the maps we see it on the most commonly. You're absolutely right, Mike. I mean, but you have to, right? If you get the hit towards the A site, then, well, you can fight for it. If not, then you have a much better position for a save.
Yep. So, this will be 00Nation getting on the board, turning to 01Nation, at least for the moment. They'll get this party started. Chucky timeout, impactful.
Indeed. I mean, try
wasn't there an article about like timeout impact rating? I feel like that was a Nero article about who has the most success in the round immediately following a coach timeout.
I haven't seen that one, but I need to read it if it exists.
I believe it exists. I think it sounds like a Nero article to me. If I'm misaccrediting that one, sorry. It was a good article. Chucky improving his statistic in that regard.
And speaking of impact, Try one of the leaders on the squad at 1.10 impact, and in that round, well, certainly going to go up in terms of that stat category. Really doing a great job to give his team an opening there. What?
Timeout coming out early here for Imperial.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised to see this right off the rip. 1 round is a miscue, and Imperial's immediately trying to correct the situation. This gives a chance over to Chucky to have a little bit more to say, and it's clear that he does. But for Imperial, they'll be looking to fix some of their mistakes here. They're looking to correct this score. I do like it, right? This is where your economy could get weird. This is where you might need to do some creative accounting. So you make sure that everyone has nades, everyone has guns, you got everything that you could possibly want. Vinny even taking the FAMAS instead of a superior gun just to make sure that their math would work out in terms of utility. Fallen going for this peek down mid. Last time he got our ace. This time taking it a little more traditionally. Hugging the left side. Hugging the arch spot. And this is, I think, the least amount of damage we've seen through the first 30 seconds of the round so far.
Pretty quiet start. boltz just going to get a flash toss to him so that he can flash Fur out here. Fur calling for it now. Just waiting for the right moment to pop out around this corner. They want to give 00Nation a little bit of time to come out. There's the flash. Fur going to peek around the corner, and he doesn't get anything. In fact, Lotto finds two in that situation. It was a double swing from Fallen and Fur, and it's a 5v3 just like that again to kick off the round for 00Nation. Dumau's not going to expect this. No, not at all, as boltz will get the shots and find at least one to decrease this man advantage to a 4v3.
He knew he had to do something. He knew he had to do something. He knew if they just waited in a 5v3, life was going to be very difficult indeed. But 00Nation are making the right read on this. They're saying, well, boltz is probably solo B. So let's see what we can do. And he's in a bit of a tricky spot. There's three players coming down the barrel, and this is traditionally a bit of a one and done. He gets the one. The spacing's not good. He gets more. boltz delivering here for the team, bringing it into a 2v2, and even one in the post plant. As this bomb will be going down, Taco's going to make sure of that. coldzera slow to respond, holding down the bottom of the banana. But this is interesting. It's the right read. Vinny's coming his way. Yeah. And coldzera's going to hear that. He's got the audio cues. He knows he's coming. Is Vinny going to think to clear this? He will. It just won't matter. coldzera's got the shot. And now it's all on to chelo. The new addition to this squad, the man who is supposed to inject life into this team. He's now been spotted, and he knows where both players are, but what can he do with that information? He's got to get these quick kills, and, well, they have to give them to him if he's going to have a chance. It's not happening. The kit's even down on Banana.
Yeah.
Time is already past. Chelo, knowing he has to fight coldzera for control of this kit. Cold's already got it, and he'll hit the shot to complete the round.
Cold getting pumped up a little bit there. Yelling.
Cole is telling us that he can actually tell which player it is by the scream.
Really?
Or specific players, he can recognize their yells on land. Chelo was one he was citing as an example where he can always know when it's Chelo shouting. Now, I don't think Chelo is shouting in that situation.
No.
But
decidedly not.
We should do a blindfold test and just play him clips of land players screaming and see if he can recognize it.
I mean, honestly, it
I think
seems
I
like
could
a
do it for
different...
an A, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially with like the younger guys who I've seen on the come up. The messier, goofier lands.
I'm not sure if I could indicate that purely off of audio. That seems like a difficult task.
There's
but,
a few I know, I think.
That feels like a content segment, Mike, that we need to do.
There's your idea. There's your idea.
All right, well, let's get back into the action here. 1:22 on the clock, and 00Nation have a huge edge in terms of firepower. Only pistols coming through for Imperial. It's going to be a couple of P250s, a Deagle, and 2 USPs. One lonely piece of utility. That is a nade in boltz hands, and it's towards the B site, so might do a little bit of damage to 00Nation if he tosses at the right time here. And Cold, speaking of timing, could pop around this corner and punish.
I like the optimism. It is at the right spot. They're kind of already past it. No? Okay.
Oh.
Vinny hitting that deep shot changes this round quite a bit. That was full blind. That was just through smoke. He was just hitting a lineup. Oh, Chelo misses an opportunity. That could have been huge. And instead, it's into the back lines. Dumau, one and done. Rifle given over. A 3-on-3, and suddenly a gun picked up. Fallen is in a tough spot. But they are bringing the rifles to bear. He heard this information. He's just going to slip back. Trying to stay alive. Now burning. Gave that tick away in the Molotov. They know he's here. And that is the site cleaned up. A motor smoke to secure it. And tries just going to happen to hit one through smoke. So boltz says, I'm taking my AK and I'm going home.
Yes. A good decision, as he is going to back off of this fight. And 00Nation, after that timeout, Mike, have suddenly looked like they've had new life breathed into them. 3 rounds in a row. And they've cut the lead significantly. Not only that, they've gained a significant amount of momentum.
It's the Chucky effect, man.
It is, absolutely.
All credits to Chucky.
Yeah.
You know, none of the players in the servers, they're just carrying it out.
They're just pawns.
Chucky's will.
Yes.
The puppet master. So, a third round for 0-0. And we got a game on our hands, John. This is what I was hoping for, a real brawl between these two sides.
Absolutely. I think it would have been disappointing if it was just one-sided the whole way through, right? I mean, this is a matchup that features players that used to be against each other, used to be with each other, of course, facing off against each other. Let's see which team is truly going to have the last dance, potentially at the major. As one of them's going to fall to 1 and 2. That's such a tough spot to be in. I can't believe that both these teams are in that position either.
What kind of a dance do you think it would be?
I don't know. A good one. Hopefully. A jig.
We'll have to ask them. That's the interview question. Heku, if you're listening, ask them what kind of a dance it is. We'll find out. Vinny, tucked into the corner, is not going to be cleared, but he will put the trigger on the first. What a trade from Cold. Chelo's in position to punish, though. So advantage still for Imperial. They picked up the pace at 00Nation, trying to keep Imperial guessing, but it seems like Imperial were ready for the fastball.
Chelo. Waiting here, over in the pit, and 00Nation have really slowed the pace down. Now, you see Try waiting for an opportunity to punish a player that might peek from pit, but that's really not going to happen. Chelo has tucked himself in, and he is just waiting for engagements to come his way because he knows should he peek out, there's not really much information as to what is lying in wait around that corner. Dumau going to join the rest of his teammates here. As the hit is on towards A. What a shot from Lotto to open up the site a little bit. Fallen, dropped by the wayside. Chelo by his lonesome. Reinforcements going to have to come in here. And they have to leave their B anchor boltz in position for now because they're not entirely sure where the hit's going to come. Fantastic flashbang thrown on through. Chelo manages to survive long enough for his vision to be restored. And he's going to peek around this corner eventually, looking for targets. Lotto could be his victim, but no, Lotto delivers another critical one. Then dumau drops fair. That is indeed it. boltz all the way over at the B site. Nothing he can do to have an impact on this round now.
Tasty bit of microplay there from Lotto, right? They know there's a player in pit. They figured that out. He's in the mini pit, and he's trying to coax a peek out from chelo tucked in. So what he does is he pops a shot off towards Fur and immediately snaps over to anticipate that chelo would try and peek off of it, which of course you do. It's your one opportunity as a pit player to maybe whittle down a piece of numbers. But that's a clever bit of play from Lotto. I think that on this team, dumau frequently takes a lot of the shine, but Lotto as a young player as well. I mean, it's dumau and Try, right?
Yes.
The shiny op, the really potent rifler, but Lotto, man, he's pretty incredible as well. I think really every one of these young pieces is developing nicely here for 0-0, and it is so interesting when you talk about the philosophy. I know Ho was talking about it being, who is the actual Last Dance, but the philosophy is so different between the way these teams have been built, right?
Yeah.
Imperial went for all of the veteran players, as many as possible, and then used some of the sort of more journeyman players to fill in the ranks there. For 0-0, I mean, going back to the previous roster on the Godsend project, it was about building up that next wave of talent, and now we're seeing them really shine within the 00Nation roster.
I think it's a more traditional approach, right? You have the veterans come through, the young guns are brought up, and the veterans lead the way and lead the charge to help them develop and really become powerhouses. So, I mean, it is happening here for the 00Nation side. There's no question about it. Here we go.
Triple setup towards short there. Where's the op? The op's on B. The rifle's on B as well. So this is one of those setups where you say either they're going to run into our two guns, we'll have a pretty dang good chance of winning this round, or they'll hit A and we'll have a pretty dang good chance of saving this round, barring some pistol shenanigans.
00Nation going to be a given banana, but there is a smoke toss for it. It'll give dumau something more to think about, perhaps expecting a peek to come through, but it's not going to be. Just some mind games being played by the Imperial side. And Try having a peek over the tippy top of that smoke, but as it stands, still not moving forward. A lot of utility left for 00Nation.
Yeah, the problem is there's still smokes for Imperial, right? And how many times have we seen one of these rounds get really hairy and scary against the pistols when you have to go through smokes late? That can be an Achilles heel for Team 00Nation. 35 seconds is about to hit the clock, and they don't even have brackets. So they're going to let coldzera maybe try and open some things up here, but now you're starting to see Fallen float over. This is a really good scenario for Imperial. Starting to get very nervous if you're a 0-0 fan. As soon as they hit contact, as soon as they hit this op, it's going to put the fear of God into them. And that God might just be Fallen in this instance. They're going into the stack. They're going into the numbers. They're going into everybody. 15 seconds, John. They've mismanaged this clock, and while Lotto will get one, he'll be instantly traded. It's messy on the site, and chelo's just split into a position they would last expect. It's all on to Try. And he's even got 5 seconds to try and avoid dying to time.
Oh, they're trying to let him live here.
A kill found. He's out. He's around the corner. They're chasing, though. They're chasing, and he's going to go down against the timer. There might be enough money here for 00Nation, but their classic flaw against a weaker buy, just letting time run down on Inferno and getting stuck with smokes in your faces.
Yeah, you were absolutely right, Mike. Even with that gluttony of utility that 00Nation had, it was just the two smokes that held them at bay. And then Try at the end, they let him get one shot and said, okay, sure, go for it. We have 2 seconds left in order to wait until we have to chase you. They wait for the time to run out and end up taking him down after time. But of course, like you said, look, there's still enough money for him to buy. He's got the op in his hands. Everyone else will be able to support each other in terms of that economy, so it's not catastrophic for 00Nation. But that was a round where Imperial had the 2 rifles, the op rung true from Fallen, and then I believe it was an AK saved over. Everyone else onto pistols, and some couple of free upgrades going to come through here for the Imperial side. Jumping right into it, round number 11. Imperial hanging on to this lead. 00Nation have been playing back a step for the entirety of this half, but they're trying to get back up onto the scoreboard here and tie up this scoreline. Speaking of Try, he's supporting his team, pushing up banana here with the utility usage. Flashbang going to get tossed over soon. Fur, along with boltz, trying to deny the space, and a smoke is going to be tossed here by Fur, and he immediately backs off to go towards CT, and reinforcements are coming here for Imperial.
dumau's holding the top end. But it's going to be the bulk of presence here for 00Nation. Dumau done for. Entry's not working out very well. He has been going in first in a lot of situations, and not so much success here.
It's a role he usually thrives in.
Yeah. Not getting the entries. But 00Nation still do seem committed to this B-Tig. With no presence towards brackets, they're a little wary of a flank developing. There's a triangle defense here for the Imperial side. They've got the bodies up. They're very well set up for this, and they've still got the smokes as well to make sure that, yeah, no one has gotten through. Comfort for the Imperial side. Time again, starting to get late. And now they gotta go. And Vato, the first man through the smoke. Well, he's the first man to hit the deck. It's getting very messy here. The smoke fade gets them one, but takes it away. Much the same try. 25 seconds. Can he create something else here? Can't get caught. After time again. They'll try and creep on forward. The flashbang is good. The execution better. And coldzera is holding a banana. But nobody's moving up. Just one lonely coldzera. Gonna save as the timer hits 00Nation. Have been stopped in their tracks.
Yeah, great response from Imperial. Another shutdown round coming through from them. Not only did they get a couple of upgrades to the previous round, now they have 4 players surviving. Their economy's building up. They're feeling pretty good now, starting to settle back into their CT side. Saw here, this is a critical engagement, of course, as dumau tries to go for the entry, and Lato the same thing, but they find absolutely nothing towards B, as Fur again denying, sitting at 12 frags on the scoreboard, the only player into double digits so far. Chelo, along with Fallen, going to go for a peek towards mid. Chelo actually just wants to toss that incendiary down to the bottom of mid to keep a couple of players at bay for 00Nation, and that opens up his space. Or opens up space for him to push up a little bit into alt mid and really doesn't see anything and decides to fall back immediately.
You'd assume that with this limited utility, 00 might be forced to make a bit of a faster play. The last time they did that, they were very much stymied.
Yeah.
They're still being relatively methodical about this. 2 smokes, 2 mollies, a few flashes. They've got 1 execute going here. But Imperial have 4 players on the spot. Looks like A is going to be the scene of some carnage. Which way the bodies will lay? Well, we're about to find out. It's following with the responsibility for Balkan. Chelo's actually going to take the initiative here. Wow. Aggression out from Chelo is perfect, and Fallen is just catching falling T's as they're coming straight down the barrel of his AWP. There we go. It's a turkey shoot there. And now Chelo's starting to get loud.
As he should. Another clean round, even cleaner than the previous one for Imperial. Economy is just fantastic. 8-4, they've won the half, and 00Nation look as quiet as they did in the early goings. That 4-round win streak, just all they can really muster so far on this team side. Chelo, yeah, that was ridiculous.
Try doing a backflip.
I mean, both Chelo and Fallen just so sharp in that round. I know, yes, the back.
Ragdolls are fun. I enjoy a good ragdoll.
Battle towards Banana is ongoing, and it looks like 00Nation aren't going to challenge too much. Ooh, dumau eats a nade, goes down to 26 HP, so he has to fall off of that.
What flavor?
What flavor nade?
Of nade, yeah.
I'll say fruit punch.
Fruit punch nade. Explosive.
Smacks you right in the face.
Really does. Smack of flavor. An explosion of
speaking
taco, dig shot. That's a particular taste. Right in the teeth of Fallen. His old commander, his old captain now down on the cobblestones. And, well, it's a good setup still towards Arch. And Chelo will be activated. Keeps them from getting any actual space off of this. Keeps this from getting the gun as well. That's nicely done. So Imperial do deny whatever might be gained. And boltz is the next one who could be a bit vulnerable to these digs. 1 shot and they're down, but boltz dancing around the wood panel is doing a great job of it.
Finally, yeah.
Top car, he has been taken down, but boltz did plenty. Still, there's a chance, and now there's not. The chance, it has elapsed. If Fur died in the isolated fight, what could have been. coldzera does have an isolated fight, but Vinny's good for it. The backstop of this team in many ways. It's a role Vinny has played throughout his career, and the backstop holds up.
Yeah, great work there, in particular by boltz, right? Because he could have been caught out. He was actually trying to push up banana and maybe get it on a flank, but once perhaps he got a call out, realizing, look, they're not coming towards the A site, he backs off at the perfect time towards car and ends up getting this 2K. Eventually goes down thanks to a very nice shot from Dumau, but he did the damage he had to, and Imperial secure the round. 9-4 now. They are flirting with double digits, but 00Nation are back to their full-on buy, and boltz just going to charge down mid. That's a mistake, but at least the trade is there from Fallen. And chelo also makes it a lot tougher for 00Nation, catching off Lato, trying to peek towards banana.
Imperial hunting double digits here, and it's a nice way to start out in the pursuit of the doobly-dig. 00Nation gonna have to slow down without this map control, without any of the space. They've got to be wary about the bottom banana. They don't really know if a push could be coming through. It's not, but it could be. And so you can see the checks coming in, tries looking over his shoulder, wary of what might be, and what will be, and what could yet occur. And now it's happening. It hits in, bracket control will be taken, vision is completely blocked for these players out towards Arch, chelo, and Fallen will readjust, but they've just got this toehold. We've got a minute left on the clock, and they've just now got a little bit of a footing in. That's a footing that chelo is eager to take away. Utility going to sail over. This is the next approach. This is the next corner they need to go around. It'll be coldzera leading the charge. Utility set up for him. But nobody's found yet. And it's chelo who will be the first engagement. Cold pushes him off. Can't find that kill. He's getting short again. 30 seconds. Very methodical from 0-0, but this wants to be a B-split. This is going to be a B-split. And with chelo withdrawing into the library, there's the kill.
Oh.
Now they've got free reign. Now they can rock on in. And Fer has a little bit of trouble coming his way, and he knows it. He pushes into the banana fight to try and isolate this out, to try and prevent him getting pinched. It's a great response to it. With only 10 seconds, they can't waste any time. 0-0 needs to go, and Try is still just now coming up this angle. Bomb will be planted. That at least is there, but Fer holding on in his spot means this retake is super viable for Imperial.
Oh boy, it's going to be interesting though, as Taco and coldzera are getting their feet planted here on the bomb site. Fer coming up, looking for first contact. And now he's going to turn around this corner. Eventually should be able to see one, and he does! Missed the shot, though. Taco connects, but Vinny is right there for the trade. All up to coldzera in the 1v2. Time ticking away on this bomb. Cold's going to get one, and now it's all up to Fallen. 34 HP versus 36. Time has ticked away. Fallen perhaps going to try and stick this one. He does hit the shot, but time is up. He loses the op as well to the bomb, and it's going to be a fifth found for 00Nation.
Oh, calling his bluff. That's a massive round to find for the 00Nation side. That gives them just a little bit more comfort as we head into the half, regardless of the way this last one splits. There's a world of mental difference between 11-4 and a 10-5, right? And you've guaranteed at least that. So a fifth round found in, and Fallen just can't seal the deal in time. Now, one more go. It is a much better buy for Imperial. There's limitations here for 0-0, but hey, they'll work with spit and gutso. That's what they need. Gusto. Gutso too. Whatever they do need. They're going to be bringing it to bear in this one. What they could really use is a pop-off play from one of Try dumau. They've been a little quieter on the T side, and chelo might be the one popping off right now. It's not going to be Try. For sure not. As chelo goes forth and conquers.
00Nation making a readjustment after that first frag comes through. They send 3 players towards banana, but the bomb is not with them. The bomb is all the way over at alt mid. So we'll see how that ends up going for them. Fallen finds dumau trying to get around that corner after the Molotov was tossed for sandbags, and now he's going to get flashed to oblivion, so he'll have to back off here towards the site proper, but he's done his job. It's a 5v3. 00Nation rebuffed again, and they'll head back to the A site.
They will creep around the corner. Good setup for it. Fer to lock down Arch. 2 players in towards the pit, but as I say that, Fer's gone a walking. Seems like they're reading this as a bit of a B play, and so Fer is rotating at an inopportune time. Vinny needs to hold the line. Vinny gets some damage, but takes a dink through the wall back the other way. Fortunate indeed that was through the wall. So he's able to stick around in his spot. A player slipped in. Chelo knows that. He's had to drop into the pit, so both these players are here. The motor smoke isolates it. They need the line, but it's chelo who's got it. He's got them on a line, and coldzera down to 14. One bullet will just about do him in. He's been spotted. The reinforcements are here. The cavalry is here. A bomb plant does not get you much of anything at all, and they won't even be able to find that. 10 rounds, double digit for Imperial as the legends of the game want to continue the path to the major after the half.
To my face, tell me now why you want to win.
Double digits here for Imperial as they conquer on the CT side of Inferno. Nice stabilizing towards the back end of that half, and now Imperial look like they're in prime position to take this best of one series against their old comrades over on the 00Nation side.
Yeah, but still good on 00Nation to keep them off of a potential 11-4 scoreline, picking up a fifth at the very end of that half, somehow squeezing it through. And I mean, that last one, the 15th round, really was all Imperial. Some timely pushes paying off, in particular, coming through from, I believe, was Chelo through the window into mid. So let's see if Imperial can build off of what was a very good CT side and close this one off, or will it be 00Nation being able to come back from the deficit and charge on forward to a 2-1 record?
I know what 1xBet thinks, but I don't know if I agree.
I don't know if I agree either.
CT side's so potent in current meta. A nice start would be a big difference, though, and 0-0, unfortunately for them, may have gambled wrong here. You've got dumau with one smoke, who's going to try and slow things down once the execute comes in. But based on the nade set that we've got here for Imperial, I would imagine they're going to flash through. Fallen will throw the smoke. Vinny will mollo something. There's the cross smoke. It actually comes out from Vinny. There's the second one in towards Goffin, so dumau can't really do anything about this. He's going to try and pop a shot. Oh, it did connect. All right, dumau playing the line there. That does get them an advantage headed into the post, but they'll hold on to his smoke to work with later. And instead, it's going to be about Fallen trying to defend here from the bottom of Banana. Does he get anything? He does indeed. That's a nice find. Fortunately for them, it's not the player with utility, so that's all right. The next hurdle to overcome is Vinny. And Vinny, well, he's tucked in, and Vinny, he's turned on. But only for one. Still, a little bit of a tricky one. Utility going to start to sail over, make this a bit easier. And chelo is in a bit of a compromised position as they get activated back in. dumau trying to punish, and it'll be coldzera instead to find the kill all in a bolt. Time is of the essence. You're absolutely right. coldzera does have a kit, but they need to get on it sooner rather than later. And boltz, he's buying the time, but not quite enough. Just enough for the defuse. And 0-0 get it over the line.
Yeah, Cole just had to jump on that bomb and hope that his teammates could clear out the last player, and they did, because time was ticking away. At the very least, it will be a round secured here for the CT side.
Shots of Vinny there. What Vinny stan, you know? Watched him drop 40 on a train game once and been a fan ever since. How can you resist it?
I miss train.
Don't we all? Volvo, please bring it back to us. It does feel like after this major, another map might be coming through. Feels like it.
Hopefully 2. I hope there are 2 swapped out and 2 swapped in. Honestly.
Changes in the air.
Yeah.
But you hate change, John.
No,
Whichever
no,
maps they are, you'll hate whoever came back in.
I'm
unless they're
totally,
trained.
I'm not always against change, Mike. I'm totally for change in this case. I'd like to see a shake up to the map.
I guarantee when the maps get changed, folks, I'm going to get a message from John that's like, why did they remove this one? I can almost read the message already.
We'll see. As long as Mirage is... No, just...
We'll
It's a
see.
contested
We'll
territory
see.
here.
But right now it's about Inferno, a map that I know some people have some distaste for, but I just find always does deliver.
Oh, no, I mean, I love Inferno. How can you not like Inferno?
I don't know. Go ask Elliot.
Huh.
Dumau is going to be asking some questions, and he's going to be answering them too. He is everything in this moment. The boost up works out beautifully for 00Nation, and well, Vinny and boltz are not going to be feeling great about that one. This was going to be a split B. It still might be a split B, but with a few fewer players coming along for the ride, coldzera has the next chance to step to the plate here. And he's going to win that one. Chelo had the initiative, and coldzera just shuts it all down. Why not? They knew exactly where he was. He's back into the angle. But a coldzera is most dangerous when he's back into the corner, apparently, and now Fallen is a lone wolf. And he might just find himself caught in a trap. Smoke up right in his face. They spotted him. Here's the check. He's got the read. Professor, always outbrain in the competition, but he's got no time. He can't win the round. He knows that.
No.
In this situation, it's about saving the gun, and they're hunting. I don't want this wolf to slip the reservation. That's not going to happen. Dumau collects.
Yeah, Fallen just wanted to try and maybe do some more damage, save the gun. Neither really happens, and a great, solid round coming through there from the 00Nation side, and they built their economy. They shut down Imperial on what was a force buy, and they pretty much assured themselves of another round victory after this, since Imperial will likely be on the save. And indeed, they are a little bit of upgrade, pistol upgrades coming through. It's going to be 4 P250s and only the Glock for fur. And the utility could help out here. The 3 smokes make an extra a little more viable. But look at 00Nation. They're trying to take the fight to Imperial, and it's working fantastically. Dumau gets 2, Taco drops 1, and it's all 00Nation. They don't want to waste any time into this round.
0 seconds wasted. And this one's over and done with clean. I can't say from the Brazilian side, but it is from the Brazilian side. It's just also against the Brazilian side.
Yes.
Imagine the turmoil that Raul is going in the green room right now. I just like to imagine he's on the couch in anguish. Every round brings him joy and sorrow. Truly the duality of man in action right there.
No question.
One eye will be crying. One side of his mouth will be smiling in the post-death segment, regardless of who wins here. He'll somehow play both sides. 2 rounds separate these teams, 0-0. Nice start off the half to make this a bit more equal, but it's all about the guns, John. It's all about the guns.
Yes,
and now the guns are here.
They are here. Imperial going to bring the AKs to bear. Fur already walking in here towards Boiler, and no one really here except for, of course, Try, and he actually keeps Fur at bay. If he loses that engagement, Fur has a clear path to the site. What a nice job by Try holding the fort. And now you're going to see Imperial rebuffed a little bit. They're still holding their ground for the time being towards A, but it appears as though they want to try and fight more towards Banana and the B site.
It looked like Fallen wanted to catch his teammate there.
Like,
Come to Papa.
to my arms.
Come to Papa. He said he's been spending a lot of time with Chelo since he joined the team. You know, I didn't know they were that kind of close.
Whoa.
But, you know, maybe a little bit of a father figure there. I don't actually know what the age difference is between them. Chelo's been around a minute. John's about to check. He wants the stats. But it does seem like this is going to be a B play.
7 years, Mike.
7 years. Yeah, I mean, not quite old enough for that, but old enough to have like a big brother vibe for sure. And here's going to come the pressure. They're going to make their way on in. It's 2 players for 00Nation. Pretty traditional hold. The rotation hasn't come in just yet. They're doing a good job of the utility holding them at bay, and Imperial don't want to move. This Molotov's going to freeze them up 25 seconds. Surprised the 3rd player hasn't moved over. They just take this. Certainly the rotate has to come in at some point, but coldzera very patient into this. 15 seconds. Now he's going to go. It might be too little too late, but if 0-0 can drop a body, they drop the gun, and that's it. That's the bomb down. There's no time to recover this. This is already done for Imperial. They just don't have enough time to try and see this round through.
Wow. Yeah, 2 seconds left. Fallen and Fur have to be careful not to go down after time, and they will not, at least keeping the AKs up. But 00Nation passing the test against a full-on buy of Imperial, and we are 1 round away from being tied up at 10 rounds apiece. 00Nation looking very strong indeed on their CT side, and looking at Imperial, well, they do have the 2 AK saved over, but they choose not to force around them. They do invest a decent amount, but it's not a full-on force by coming through here. Just 2 Tech 9s, the Deagle, and a full belt of utility for Vinny. Try gonna toss a nade right down the middle, and it only connects for 13 HP of damage onto Fallen, who's gonna continue his trek up, pretty much undisturbed here, towards the top of mid. Just firing off a few shots, attracting some attention in his direction.
A little bit more of aggressive posturing than we've seen from 00Nation a lot of these rounds. They've been kind of content to let Imperial take the initiative a lot of the time, except for, I mean, that round they yeeted down mid. But, you know, different circumstances. This is another partial eco, partial buy, partial naded down. On those 2 saved guns, gonna try and make something happen here. Minute on the clock now. A boost over the smoke. Initiative taken. Try finds 2. That's disaster now for Imperial. Everything they were trying, all of the weight of their push was over towards that arch side, and it is rejected.
They should be able to recover an AK here. Chelo's trying to find it, and there we go. Finally grabbed it off the ground, and since he has reinforcements behind him, why not take the space now as well? Charging up arch side, library player peeks out. That's Cold getting a 2K. Nicely done. Vinny, the last one standing, and he only gets 1 before falling by the wayside. There it is. 00Nation have tied it up 10-10.
And look at the money. Look at the money. The money tells the story here, folks. Not only have 0-0 been winning rounds, but they've been keeping the bodies up, and now they're in such a prime position. We talked in the first half about how important it is to keep that CT economy alive on this map. Yes. Many have talked about it before. Well, now 0-0 don't need to stress about it too much. They got cash nation.
Yeah, and it frees them up to get a little more aggressive as well on their CT side. So we'll see if perhaps dumau or maybe Lotto are going to try and take the initiative there. As it stands, though, Imperial appear to be faster paced into this round. They're sending 3 players up right away. Tries good for 1, then the second. Going to peek around for the 3rd. Potentially the 3K is on! And indeed, Try finds it. Imperial denied any space towards A, and now Vinny and boltz grouped up together at Banana thinking, well, we have to try something here. We still got 1 minute and 24 seconds, but that was catastrophic.
The spacing has been so rough for Imperial on some of these peaks. I mean, they never even get a chance to shoot back a try, right?
Yeah.
The last player maybe pops off a shot, but that's about it. It's utterly catastrophic there, and for 00Nation now, I mean, you just have to hold the line. There's no smokes to block this. There's no flashes to put them off the angle. And they've got a double peek here from the young guns of dumau and Lotto. So send and now deliver. dumau, 1, 2. Who even needs Lotto? Why needs a second player? That's 0-0 peeling into the lead.
Whew, and the money is just getting better and better. I think 3 players above 10K, 1 flirting with full money at 16K. I think sitting at around 14, well, was before the utility was bought up. Either way, 00Nation have not lost a round yet in this second half. Are we going to see another team sweep a second half as we saw?
Here's something that's very interesting,
yes,
right?
Go ahead.
Okay, we're in a timeout. Look at where FNX's mic is. It's not even in front of his mouth. A lot has been made about this moving of FNX into the captain role, but it's clear in the timeouts, he's not necessarily the one getting involved. It's Fallen. It's Fallen's show. And it was a little bit surprising, perhaps, to see FNX move in. I mean, part of this roster has been about keeping the old crew all together, and when it was clear that maybe FNX was beyond his time in the server, they opted to shift him to standing behind the gang, but... yeah. It's tough not to have another voice potentially behind you to give that impact. And I mean, not even having the mic ready to go for a timeout is very telling of where the ideas are coming from.
Yeah. Gotta wonder how it feels for FNX to be in that position as well, right?
I'm sure he's having a good time.
I hope so.
It's an interesting time for sure. It's always a little tough to get out of the server.
Yeah.
And be standing behind the guys. I'm sure many have made that transition before, though.
You always want to be implicated in the server. I don't think any player who retires, even when they retire, they're like, they only do so because they can't contribute as much as they used to, but they want to
I've heard a few. It's a different demand. Try going to back away here. He's being chased down. The flashbangs have been good. Try is going to get run down, so here we go. Activated for Imperial. Whatever they talked about in that timeout is now coming to fruition, and it's a major pinch on these remaining players. Dumau's gone back to the front. From the front to the back, and he will secure the back. Scratch his back, and he'll shoot yours. Triple kill from Dumau. Might just make this a viable one here. It's still going to be a bomb plant. It's still an incredibly successful round for Imperial in a vacuum, but they really would love the round win, and a lot's going to come down to Vinny here, tucked by the sandbags. He doesn't have health, but he does have the AK, and if he hits headshots, well, what could be? Here comes the utility. He's been spotted. He's been deleted. What a peek from Taco. All onto Fallen, who's just gone looking for a gun, trying to find something, anything.
Near him.
And they've only seen Taco as well, so they don't know coldzera's right on this line as well. Fallen takes down the first of his old teammates. He's looking for the second as well. coldzera is giving him the slip and might just tap this. He's going to stick it. Fallen coming through. coldzera with the shot. Does he have time for the defuse, or was that enough for Fallen? No, he's good. He's good. He's got it. Last second defuse. Nerves of steel from coldzera, and he's going to let his old captain know who it was that just did it to him.
Wow. What a play from Cold. The guts to pull off the defusal and try to go for the frag instead, and it works out so well. I mean, there's so little time for this. Obviously, less than a second to spare. And 00Nation pull it off. I mean, Dumau deserves a ton of credit.
Yeah.
Managing to get 3 kills in that situation, completely surrounded, 2 players bearing down on him from one direction, 1 from the other, and he delivers on every front before falling by the wayside.
This timeout's taken by 00Nation. This is a proactive timeout coming through.
Yes.
Because you do know that whatever Imperial discussed in the last one, it's not just going to pertain to that forced buy. It's going to be about this next rifle round here. And that round got way too hairy. So Chucky's trying to calm them down, clear the comms here, make sure that they're dialed in for this rifle round, because this is a swing. This is a massive swing in the momentum of this game. If Imperial can convert here, we've still got a real brawl on our hands. But for 0-0, here's the chance to really put themselves firmly in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, could be a swing of momentum, but thanks to that economy that was built up here from 00Nation, they'll be able to buy no matter what into this next round, which is great. And even in the last one, right, losing 4 players doesn't really matter when you have one still above 10K, Cold at 12 right now, even after buying. Anyway, jumping into the action here, Taco gets delivered a bullet right to his dome from Fur, and that's going to make it a quick 5v4 in favor of the Imperial side. Exactly what they were looking for in the opening moments here.
Try's taking the space, though. Try's just come right back in and taking the space, and now he's zoning through.
They're not going to expect this at all.
They were actually looking for it. It was coldzera who got tagged. The spam through the apartment's going to deal some serious damage, but no kills just yet, and the advantage now retaken. Lotto could get caught reloading. Uh-oh. Vinny through, but Vinny gets collected. They still got the bomb in control. Lotto finds the timing around the coffin peak, and this one's falling apart. Dumau's ready to come through off his teammate's contact, and Fallen does find that, but the trade is there instant, and now Dumau spotted the last. First position is known. He knows he's in a tough spot. He knows he needs to try and get this kill while it's even remotely isolated. Well, he will find damage on Dumau. This just might be it. Fur trying to work this 1v3, trying to recover the bomb, trying to keep this round in doubt. coldzera's nowhere close at hand. It's going to be about these 2 on the site, and Dumau's just found the first. That'll coax coldzera closer. That will drag the net just a little bit tighter here, but Fur's still struggling. He's still got fight in him. He's only got 30 seconds with which to fight. The flashbang's good, the execution better. 13 rounds on the board. 00Nation in striking distance of this win.
Oh, absolutely fantastic defense again. Dumau coming in the clutch for his teammate. Lotto was just trying to escape, and if Dumau doesn't find that frag, Lotto might have gone down by the wayside, and it could have been the round, but Dumau spamming through the smoke with the A1S connects on a frag, and that gives Lotto enough breathing room, not only to survive, but to contribute to the round again with a frag boosting up over Coffin. So, 00Nation still undefeated here in this second half. That is 8 rounds in a row. Imperial talking things over once more a little bit here before the round gets underway. They did have the opener there as well, Mike. Still not able to work with it.
I had to censor that. Don't know what he was shouting, but apparently the world couldn't know either. If you read lips, keep it to yourself. Don't snitch. 13 on the board. 3 to find if you're a 00Nation fan. If you're cheering for Imperial, This is a scary situation. It's the same we talked about in the last matchup. Coming back from the 1-2 is a tough spot. Even finding 3 wins, even putting yourself as the 3-2 does not guarantee you a spot in Rio. Only one of those 3-2 teams, or 2 of those 3-2 teams, I'm bad at counting, will make it through.
I think 2, yeah.
It's tough. It's very tough indeed.
Chelo pushing up here, and now falling off. Imperial just taking their time, clearing out spots, moving together as a unit at this point. No lurks being utilized into this round. 55 seconds left now, and you're going to see a bit of forward positioning for Chelo in those apartments. He's looking for first contact potentially, but they're set up for this on the 00Nation side. 3 players, in fact, lining up for a push here. Likely going to be a flash out. Not much util, in fact, for Imperial, so they're going to have to make it work here in the early goings. They try to jump down. There it is. Open and found, and Chelo gets the second as well. That is the site cleared. And 00Nation, I mean, they have the money, Mike, but I think they might just opt for a save now.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much locked out of this one. That's the Chelo effect coming in. That's what they were hoping for all game long, and what a time to have impact here for the younger gun. Chelo making it happen. Ripping on through. Surprised even by the space that 00Nation is taking into this one. I mean, it's kind of funny, but exits sort of benefit the CTs in this situation more. So Imperial really have no motivation to hunt. Dumau's going to see if he can't collect a gun or 2. Does he check right? He does. By boltz. The second. By Fallen.
Whoa.
Dumau is the Reaper right now, and he's coming to collect.
What?
That's a choice.
Okay.
Didn't think that another player was going to come around that corner. Probably assumed that they were tucked in towards pit, that he'd sprint down the hall after the bomb detonate and try and kill whatever he could. That's not going to happen. Still 2 for the price of 1. Dumau's happy with that exchange rate.
Maybe he was just expecting a player to be running away and not aware of the possibility that someone could be there, but why wouldn't it be? Because he just got 2 kills, right?
Definitely the pit play.
It doesn't make... Yeah, it had to be that. Either way, finally a round. Cracking the scoreboard here for Imperial.
Since the half.
And, I mean, Chelo, like you mentioned, powering the way, clearing out the site by his lonesome.
Timeout is immediate as well. What a response from Chucky. We dropped 1 round. Unacceptable. I must fix this.
Really utilizing their timeouts on both sides here.
You know, we've been talking a lot about the former comrades from the Imperial and the 00Nation side, but if Vinny looks to his left, he's got 2 of his former comrades over on that Furia team.
Oh, yeah.
Or high-fiving right there on the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reach out and join the high five. It has almost been a reunion atmosphere here, you know, seeing all of the different BR teams. Because, I mean, it's similar to NA, right? Where your top-end teams aren't really in Brazil very often. They're either in North America or they're in Europe competing. So everyone coming back over, getting to chat, getting to catch up, seeing that mixing of minds and ideas. It's very cool to have it in action. boltz down for the count. Dumau wants the initiative in this one, and wowee. He's not waiting around.
Not at all. boltz falling by the wayside, and now 00Nation, having found the opening frag, say, you know what, we don't really have to aggress any further. Let's fall back and just hold the site. And all 3 players decide to do exactly that. One sticking around at the top banana, that is Try with the op, holding the angle. Vinny tapping away, and there's a flashbang thrown for Dumau to try and get another frag on the board, as Try also used the opportunity to peek around. Ooh, there's Vinny showing a bit of shoulder. But Try.
Scandalous.
Unable to connect on anything, of course. Information gained, as now they're going to move on forward towards this A site, Mike.
Well, the shoulder has been retracted. They'll try and slip it in a different spot on the map. A little shimmy, a little shake. Looks like they might want to pressure Arch, but there's so much utility here from both sides that it's just a little nightmarish. You're going to have to test Lotto, and he's using his flashbangs well to slow this down. 35 seconds. Now you've brought the 4th player in to reinforce. Dumau's playing on the smoke fade. He hears those footsteps. He's got confirmation. His teammates are ready, but it doesn't matter. Being ready and executing is a different thing. coldzera, though, he's down for some executions.
Man.
Those are 2 big kills. Bomb drop. It's all into Fallen. He's running out of time. 20 seconds here, and so many targets to find. And coldzera won't even give him the first. What a round. What a map for coldzera to step up. He's been taking a backseat to his young teammates, but this map, this Inferno, it's all about the Brazilian Terminator. It's all about the old legend. It's all about the former #1 player in the world, coldzera.
It's really unbelievable what he's brought to bear here. And the round was trending in Imperial's direction until coldzera says, nope, I don't think so. 2K shutdown, then the third afterwards. It's just really well played on his side, and everyone on 00Nation is pumped up, ready to go. Another timeout being called here, I believe.
Another one in. I mean, it's dueling timeouts. It's the last one for Imperial. They know that this is the moment. Fallen's talking it through. This is the moment. It's do or die. If you get it here, one more investment to try and make this work. If not, map point found for 00Nation in complete desperation to try and keep the game in question. coldzera topping the board. Actually, dumau's up ahead of him. The young gun even outstripping the veteran. It's been quite a showing here for the 00Nation firepower pieces.
The CT side, dumau woke up in such a big way in coldzera, as we've talked about.
He had like 6 kills at the half.
Yeah.
This has been astounding from dumau.
Yeah, absolutely. He was very quiet on T side. It's been his CT side that has been unbelievable.
Well, they might need another one. They might need another round here. boltz clearing in towards sandbags. But it's going to be dumau and Lato who get tested. Here on towards B. Imperial have tried to bring the fight to them. It's not been terribly successful. And dumau shouldering the angle just with a molly. The util set is ready here. Maybe going to put a beat into this. Molly's going in late. Oh, might be a little too late. So many smokes. Lato wants to fight from in pool. He's got the first. Now the molly's down. They can't go through. They know it. And Lato's just collecting.
No way.
3 kills found. 2 through the smoke. Shot down onto Imperial. This one's looking hopeless. And they're getting nothing out of the deal. It's all on the fur. A 1v5. Yes, he'll collect 1. But he's even down to 5 points of health. Dancing in the pool. The nade will finish him off.
Oh my goodness. Nade actually kicked that all off, connecting on 3 players down to half health instantaneously, and then Lato farming the frags, connecting on absolutely everything that he saw or even didn't see in some cases. And that is going to be 00Nation up to 15. They have 4 opportunities to close this out and go to 2-1, sending one of the favorites, I would say, for the top 6 here, Imperial down to a 1-2 record.
Astounding. An astounding situation for 00Nation. A strong moment now. It's just about whether they can close it out, and look at what Imperial have to fight with. The utility's on Fallen. He's taking the hit going towards the Tech 9 just so he can get nades up for his comrades. And this one is going to take something real special out from the Imperial side.
Oh, yeah.
Are they just going to roll over and concede here? Move down. They have a little bit more fight. That nade. Vinny suffering. The punishment on Banana is just brutal. These 2 players have been pushed off, though. They've given the site over. Not without some penalties. Vinny collected, looking for more. Fallen, nearly dropping. If nades can come back in on this retake, it's going to be brutal. And here's a flashbang to get them over the angle. That drops the bomb back in a pool. They're going to have to clear sightlines to retrieve it. That's so very tough. boltz traded out. It's all just down to Chelo and Fur. The new and the old. They got to do it all. And they're stuck in position. They don't have anything to clog sightlines now. It just has to be the guns. They don't have flashes. They don't have smokes. They just have the rifles in their hands. The first one dropped all onto Chelo. The newest addition must do it all. A 1v4. 35 seconds to play with Chelo. Train on the angle, hoping someone gets antsy, but 00Nation are giving him nothing. Not a peek, not a whisper of a chance. Now Try creeps forward. But it's contact that Chelo seeks. He craves a duel, and, well, they're giving it to him. The audio cues are given, and Try will put him down. 00Nation are victorious. They move up 2-1. They send the Legends of Imperial hurtling down with elimination potentially on the line.
Yeah, only 1 round picked up on T side there for Imperial. Otherwise, it was all 00Nation, and Try doing a great job with the op and the utility. Led the way with flashy snits into this one at 0.08, and he got another one in that previous round. What a performance from 00Nation.
This